A few months ago, the people of Thailand elected me as their commander-in-chief. The world around us was on the brink of collapse. With limited resources and a growing sense of isolation around the world was on the brink of collapse, and I promised the Thai people that I would lead them through the storm. So join me as I lead Thailand through World War III. In this season of conflict of nation, you will witness the growth of my empire, a war of epic proportions, a slow and painful stagnation before the Thai elephant rises again. I am your host, Rego Fighter. This is Conflict of Nations, and let's get into it. So, we start off in our new home nation. Our goal this season is to protect the Thai people and the Thai monarch. Thailand is a nation of beautiful forests, beautiful views, beautiful skies, beautiful cities, and most importantly, beautiful people. And we must protect that. Looking at our borders, we have several neighbors, with Vietnam to our east, Myanmar to the west, Malaysia and Indonesia to the south. Now normally I would see these nations as potential adversaries, but this time I needed their help, because this wasn't going to be easy playing this country. So my first call as president of the Kingdom of Thailand was to create a coalition, SEP, which stands for Southeast Asian Powers. Then I reached out to my Southeast Asian neighbors looking for allies, and not long after, Vietnam joined the coalition. Myanmar was a nation I wasn't sure I wanted in my coalition. I wanted to invade them to grow my own territory, but those plans would soon change. Indonesia would join my coalition a few hours later, and I joined them in its invasion of Malaysia. By the end of the day, Malaysia applied to join the coalition, and I accepted it. This made me very happy, because it was already early on into the game, and I was already surrounded by allies. This is what a strong coalition looks like, and I was only planning to make it even stronger by inviting Australia into our coalition. With Myanmar now in my coalition, I decided to move my forces to take the Philippines, and with Australia in the team, I felt like we had a very solid coalition, and began delegating tasks. But I pretty much spent day 2 just delegating tasks to my coalition members and my forces. During day 3, my troops began assuming their positions off the coast of the Philippines, while Vietnamese forces took positions along the border with China, and Indonesia's forces began expanding into AI states of Malaysia and Brunei. But unfortunately, Myanmar went inactive. Later that day, my forces began landing off the shores of the Philippines, with my battalions landing at the city of Cebu and capturing the city of Puerto Princesa. By the end of day 3, I had the 23rd largest economy in the game, and I was placing 22nd. By day 4, my forces had captured most of central Philippines. Meanwhile, Vietnam had begun his invasion of China, with perfect timing, as China just became inactive. I sent some of my forces to northern Myanmar in order to support Vietnam's invasion of western China, with Australia joining in to prepare to invade the east coast of China. Later during the day, I managed to mobilize my first corvette as my first ship in my navy, and immediately ordered it to sail to northern Philippines to support my forces there. Otherwise, on day 4, I still placed relatively the same position as I was the previous day. Now, before we continue on to day 5, I want to thank those of you who are already liked and subscribed to the channel. We may have missed our goal of 100 subscribers. That's mainly on me due to my failure to upload consistency. But I do apologize for that. If you haven't yet, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. By day 5, I had captured most of the central Philippines, with advances into the southern parts of the country underway and bombardments of the north also going on. Meanwhile, in Myanmar, at the border with China, my forces were ready to invade the nation. I ordered my fighter squadrons to patrol the city of Lhasa, and the war was declared. I then commanded my troops to advance to the city with artillery support to bombard the enemy and hopefully drive them out of the city so that my forces can conquer it. Things, as usual, were looking up as I began to mobilize my first strike fighter squadron and a helicopter gunship. And to make things even better, Myanmar came back online. I also managed to mobilize an armored vehicle, which I sent to one of my coastal cities to await more units to create a stack. By day 6, my forces had captured the capital city of Milan. The people of my nation celebrated the victory in the streets, but it had come at a great loss. Further north, Australia and Vietnam were making good work of China, and further west my forces had encountered some rough terrain and were significantly delayed. With my strike fighters mobilized, I sent it on a mission to support Vietnamese forces in the southern parts of PRC. But at this point, my coalition was ranked second in terms of points behind the Europeans, but still impressive. By day 7, most of southern China was under our control. But it was also that on this day that we were made aware of a new and emerging threat: Afghanistan. Afghanistan was a member of the European coalition and was rapidly expanding. He had a not so strong army, but a formidable air force. But otherwise, I spent most of day 4 exploring different types of units and thinking of what my fleet and military strategy could be and how it will evolve. I began investing in marines and frigates, but I think the marines was a big mistake because we pretty much controlled most of coastal Asia. Well guys, we have come to the end of the video, and if you're still watching, you are one of the true soldiers in this army. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. This is my last video of 2024, and I am happy with the way that this channel has grown over the past year. I hope you've enjoyed the first video of Season 2 of Conflict of Nations, Thailand. Have a late Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you all next year.